It's always noticeable when a manufacturer tests its own caravans, and the Goldstream RV 16ft 6in FKST Panther series is the product of red track touring and nights camped under starry skies. Available in on and off-road variants, this pop-top has been completely decked out, putting it at the upper end of the pop-top price scale. In fact, it's all the fruit you see here that gives it its Panther series designation. The first thing you'll notice about the interior is the smart Tasmanian oak cabinetry and sensible layout. The next is the good joinery, and the closer you look, the more apparent it becomes that the Goldstream folks put some effort into improving the strength of the cabinetry in line with the pop-top's off-road potential. The locker doors open on gas struts and piano hinges, so they're unlikely to shake loose halfway along the Tanami track. They've also used 12mm ply for the tops of the lockers, rather than the standard 3mm ply, adding to the rig's overall structural rigidity. In order to establish if a van would fulfil its duty, you've got to slither underneath. Among its off-road features, the Goldstream gets 2.5-tonne Cruisemaster independent suspension and a laminated galvanised floor, and stone protection for all components. In this respect, it's hard to deny this rig's off-road credibility. It's a very self-contained pop-top with two 105 amp hour AGM batteries linked to a sophisticated Red Arc battery management system which, when it comes to your 12-volt needs, will do all of the thinking for you. While you wouldn't take the base model FKST down to Gibb River Road, with all the Panther series paraphernalia on board, this pop-top would eat up the worst the Kimberley could throw at it. And you won't be lacking for comforts either.
One of the neat little features in this van is the fact that the electrical controls are all in the one place in this locker. Two 40-volt circuit breaker, 12-volt switches, hot water switch, battery charger controller, and even the 12-volt fuses, which are all neatly labelled so you know which circuit is which if there's a problem.
Goldstream have done something really clever with this van. They've moved the aircon down here instead of in a position which normally sits up here and takes up a load of space. So what it's done is just created this massive amount of handy bench space. In fact, it's got more bench space than vans that are a lot longer.
So often in caravans you see the microwave mounted really high in the cabin, and the problem with that is of course that you risk scalding yourself on hot items. There's no risk of that in the Goldstream. It's got a really nice low position.
So there's plenty of storage space under the bed, but if you look closely you'll notice that the space here has been compromised somewhat because of the rear cutaway design. This really is an off-road capable van. Features like the Highland coupling, the 2.5-tonne Cruisemaster suspension, and even this stone guard here instill faith that you'll fall apart long before this van does.
One of the benefits of this Goldstream Panther Caravan, at least as far as the off-roader is concerned, is its relatively short length. It's only 5.3 metres long. That, along with a cutaway in the rear, makes it ideal for crossing any sort of undulating terrain.
The Goldstream by far is the most off-road ready of all the vans we've got on test here. As you can see, it's got the cutaway back, light truck radials, Cruisemaster suspension, and a good bit of checker plate on the side here for extra protection.
If you're going to head down bush tracks with a caravan, you really don't want it to get caught up. With the Goldstream, it's got very good ground clearance and an excellent departure angle too, so that's unlikely to happen.
But even the base model would do you proud as you got about Australia, lapping up this magnificent country. Its sights, sounds and scenery. The Coronet name is synonymous with Australian caravanning. Its Carrington pop top is a tandem axle beauty made for blacktop adventures. With its ATM of 2200 kilos, it sits nicely behind many family wagons or mid-sized four-wheel drives. Inside, the Carrington's traditional aesthetic is undeniably elegant. Overall, the Carrington's interior proves that even in a pop-top, long considered the littlies of the RV world, you don't have to do without. In fact, with a front bedroom, off-side dinette, a kitchen that's split along the near side and rear, and bathroom tucked neatly into a corner, the Carrington's layout is entirely livable. There aren't many compromises here. There's very little that's out of place in the Carrington's kitchen, no unsightly gaps betraying a slapdash approach to construction. Likewise the dinette, it's a comfortable space for two with high density cushioning providing decent leg and back support. Let's take a look. There's a touch of old world charm about the Carrington, its traditional lines accentuated by time-honoured white aluminium cladding. But alloy rims and fiberglass flares at the wheels plant it firmly in the 21st century. The bitumen-bound Carrington is particularly pleasing under tow, well balanced and with just the right amount of weight on the nose. The tandem axle load-sharing suspension, 4-inch A-frame and 4-inch main chassis members are entirely sufficient for the blacktop touring for which this pop-top is designed. Here's what our judges had to say.
This might seem trivial, but the Coronet Carrington has this lovely little bench above the bed head here. So for people like me who wear glasses and who like reading books, there's nothing better than being able to just pop your glasses on the shelf and snooze straight off to sleep.
This might sound a minor feature, but one of the good little things in this van is this shelf right here. It's not only good for your keys and torches to be handed by the door, but it also has a little shelf for your iPod, which plugs into the adjacent radio. Many vans don't have that feature, and you can play your music straight away.
I quite like the interior of the Carrington. It's traditional, but there's nothing wrong with that. The layout flows, you've got the bed up the front, the dinette to one side, and this split kitchen area, which works quite well because it gives you a heap of bench space. And let's not forget, all of this in a compact space that also includes a bathroom.
You can never have enough storage in a caravan, and the Carrington has plenty all through the interior. And also, it has these really nice strong strut hinges.
One of the problems with the pop top is it's a bit too heavy to have a roof mounted air conditioner. This little Air Command Heron unit solves that problem. The compressor and all the weight is just here, and the outlet is fitted to a cabinet inside the Caravan.
Because the Carrington has an ATM of 2200 kilos, you don't need to tow it with a large four-wheel drive like what we've been using. In fact, the family Falcon wagon should do the job nicely.
The Coronet Carrington is a van built very much in the traditional style. Meranti frame, aluminium clad. A-frame, 2 gas bottles. This is a style that's been around for a long time, and the reason it's been around for a long time is it works. And a big plus of that is, of course, the front boot. It's just huge. It's not a big van, but they've got a lot of big storage space up here, very easily accessible as well.
The Carrington is very easy to tow, and of course part of the reason for that is the basic design of a pop top. It's got a lower profile which allows it to be less susceptible to crosswinds. It makes it a little bit more fuel efficient, the vehicle towing it, and also it allows you to park under carports or in garages much more easily.
Given this pop top's price point, you'd expect a little glamour, and in this respect the Carrington doesn't disappoint. It packs in plenty of features without impeding on living space. Fit, finish and attention to detail are the high points of Coronet vans, and this reputation was done no harm by this Carrington. So there you have it, 3 of the best pop tops that money can buy, 3 pop tops that would do you proud. There could only be one winner, and after extensive debate, it had to be for Jayco Sterling. Of course, there's a lot more to this story, and we're always testing new models, so have a look at Caravan World magazine for more information.